Hey everyone, welcome to PyNetlabs and welcome again to the Microsoft Azure Training, where we are going to talk about two certifications of Microsoft Azure, which is AZ900 and AZ104. So basically, this comprehensive course is designed for you to equip you with the essential knowledge and skills which is needed to achieve the Microsoft Azure certification. So let's get started with the content, like what exactly the course content we are going to cover up in the training. What are the course features which we are going to provide to you, like lab guides and each and everything. So let's get started with the introduction part. Let me share my screen. Over here, guys, the course and program which you all have enrolled for or you are going to enroll for, it's going to be your Microsoft Azure. And it's a combination of two certification tracks. We have AZ900, which is a foundational course, plus we are also going to talk about AZ104. Now, over here, when we talk about, the course introduction part and what exactly, this course will give you out. So over here, it's something that if you are trying to go for, the cloud certifications, which is pretty much in trend as of now. So you need to understand that how exactly these two certifications are designed. So over here, if I'm going to talk about the very first one, which is going to be your AZ900, so let's just write AZ900. And specifically with the AZ900, you can see that over here, this is something, it's a foundational module, and you are going to gain a good understanding on cloud computing principles and Microsoft Azure essentials. And also we are going to explore, lots of key concepts like what are cloud services, what are pricing models, governance, and mastering the fundamentals, which is necessary, just to navigate the Azure platform. So that is something which we are going to see in terms of Microsoft AZ900. Now talking about the course module, which is going to be for your AZ900. So over here, there are some modules. I'm just writing the name for the modules as of now. Also, I'll show you one PDF, which includes all the core topics one by one. So the very first module basically we have is the cloud concept. So we're going to talk about describing the cloud concepts. And this cloud concept, it do carries the weightage of 25 to 30% as per the official blueprint. That's one thing. Inside this cloud computing basics and foundational, we will understand what are cloud models, what is public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and what are the consumption-based models. We will also compare cloud pricing models, describe a lot of things which are going to be, the part of this fundamental section of cloud computing, like what is shared responsibility model and all that part. That's going to be the very first module. Talking about the module two, we are going to talk about the Azure architecture and services. So we'll say describe Azure architecture and services. This carries the weightage of 35 to 40%. And in this Azure architecture and services part, we will learn about the regions, region pairs, and availability zones, Azure data centers, subscription models, management groups. Also, we will discuss the compute and networking part over here. That what are the types of virtual machines, functioning of the virtual machines. What is AVD, that is Azure Virtual Desktop, and what are the resources which are required. So few things will be up here in terms of labs as well. Then accordingly, we will also cover up the Azure storage devices. Apart from that, identity access and security part will also gonna be there in terms of this architecture and services. So this is something very important section. Then the third one we're going to talk about is going to be Azure management and governance. Say describe Azure management and governance. So over here, it carries the weightage of 30 to 35%. In this content, in this module number three, we are going to see, the management in the Azure, like what is exactly the cost management, what are the tools which are used for compliance and governance, and especially the features which are used for managing and deploying the Azure resources. Also, some monitoring tools which are going to be the part in there. like Azure Service Health, Azure Monitor, including the log analytics, Azure Monitor alerts, and application insights too. So that is something we are going to discuss in this entire AZ900. I'll also let you know about the exact course content, which is going to be the part again and again. Like, there are some more core topics internally inside these modules. So I have a PDF for you guys. Don't worry. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you that as well. Now, going back to the next part, which is going to be the another training after completing this foundational part, which is going to be your AZ104. So talking about the AZ104 guys, I'll just take it to this side. We're going to talk about AZ104. This stands for Azure Administrator Associate. And over here to embark your journey on, becoming Azure Administrator by completing AZ104, you will be able to, learn, manage the virtual machines, implementing real-time networking solutions, exploring the identity and access management. Also, you're going to dive into hands-on labs as well, gaining practical experience and administrating Azure services. So according to AZ104, there are some modules which we need to understand that what exactly the course module is going to be there. It's a bit lengthy, but not like that. We are going to discuss a lot of things in terms of practical part here. Labs will be there. So talking about the modules we have in AZ104, the first module we have is manage Azure identities and governance. I'll say manage Azure identity and governance. It do carries weightage of 20 to 25%. Then apart from that, the second module basically we have is implementing and managing the storage. So we'll say implement and then manage the storage, which do carries the weightage of 15 to 20%. Apart from this, on the third module, we are going to deploy Azure, compute resources, and also we will learn that how we are going to manage those. So third module is deploying and managing the Azure compute resources. That's one thing in the module 3 where a lot of things are going to be there, like creating virtual machines, configuring disk encryptions, and managing the virtual machine sizes, disk, Azure VM skill set, provisioning of containers by using this Azure container instances, provisioning the containers by using the Azure apps, configuring and creating Azure application services. These things we are going to cover up in the module 3. Then in the module 4, we are going to talk about implementation and management of virtual networking. Implement and manage virtual networking. Over here, it carries the weightage of 15 to 20%. And the above module 3, which we have discussed, that do carries 20 to 25% of module, like the exam weightage as per the official blueprint. Now, inside this implementation management of virtual network, we will create and configure virtual networks and subnets, configuring public IP, configuring user-defined network routes, T-shoot the network connectivity, also configuring access to the virtual networks, configuring the name resolutions and load balancing, all these things, which is basically a part of infrastructure in terms of networking. We are going to see that virtually here on the cloud platform. Then we have the module number 5. Inside the module 5, it is about monitor and maintain Azure resources. I'll say monitor and maintain Azure resources, which is going to carry the weightage of 10 to 15%. Also, it is going to include, backup and recovery, like you can create recovery service vaults as your backup vault is going to be there. And in case any failure is there, you can create secondary region by using some site recovery. So these kind of things are going to be there in terms of AZ104 and the content, which is going to be your AZ. 900. So this is one thing, guys, about this particular course content. These are some modules which we are going to cover up in this entire training, which is a combination of AZ104 and AZ900 fundamentals, as well as you can say this one, the advanced administrator section. Now, talking about the course features, guys, what is something which we are going to provide you with this course? It's going to be you're going to get in hands-on experience on the lab. So I'm talking about the labs here. Will guide you how you are going to configure the labs and how practically the exercises needs to be reinforced in terms of the theoretical knowledge which basically we have. Also, we will discuss real world scenarios. Like application, you can say application of concept to the real world scenarios for practical understanding that a candidate can have a better understanding. Live sessions will be there with the experts to address the queries and provide additional insights on that. Also, by the end, once we are done with this program, we'll guide you how you can go for exam preparation in case if a candidate is looking forward to appear for the global examination. So what are the tips, tricks, and things which are needed to practice the exams to ensure you get success in AZ900 and AZ104 certification. So this is one thing, guys. Now, other section is going to be, you can say, what is basically the prerequisite for this training. The prerequisite for this training is nothing but you must have a basic understanding on cloud computing. If you don't have, then that too is fine. AZ900 is going to give you that. So basic understanding of cloud, or you can say IT terminologies. And you should be familiar with, general IT principles. So upon the successful completion of this course, you will be well prepared to take this Microsoft AZ900, which is Azure Fundamentals, and AZ104, which is Azure Administrator Associate Certification exam. Now, also, let me just show you guys the PDF about the syllabus, which I was talking about. Just give me a minute. Let me show you that. So yes, guys, you can see that. Let's exactly see the course content, which I have just given you an introduction that what are the topics which will be there inside the training as in the modules. So we are going to start with the fundamentals, which is AZ900. So here the first module says describe cloud concepts. We will understand that understanding cloud computing. We will also explain you the benefits of cloud services and service types. Also some compute and network resource, this network services are there, managing and understanding the storage services. Then we have identification, access, and security part. Then lastly, we have this module number 3, which is going to be the Azure management and governance, which will explain you in terms of cost management in Azure. What are the tools which you can use for compliance and governance? Features and tools for managing and deploying the Azure resources. So all this content is going to be the part of your AZ900, these 3 modules. Now, well, after completing the AZ900, we will move towards the AZ104, where the very first module is going to be the identity and governance, where we are going to understand that how basically users and groups needs to be created and what exactly the roles and services according to the users you can specify, manage subscriptions and governance. So this is something, when we talk about AZ104, it is more descriptive and more in terms of practical. Labs are there as well. In the module 2, we will talk about implementation management of the storage, where these things are there. Then we will see the module 3, that is deploying the Azure compute resources and managing that too, which also includes these topics like configuring and creating virtual machines, managing containers, creating app services. So all these things we are going to cover up in your module number 3. Now, after this, we are going to talk about the module number 4. So in terms of module 4, you can see it is implementing and managing this virtual networking, which is very different as in terms of, the networking which we have seen in terms of Cisco or Juniper. But in cloud, it's similar to that, but totally different. You can say like, concepts are the same, but things will get different. Like configuring public IP, you can see troubleshoot network connectivity, creating virtual networks and subnets. Also, you can see DNS is there, public load balancer, internal load balancers are there, how you are going to troubleshoot the load balancing. So all these things are going to be the part of this module 4, which is monitoring, implementing and managing the virtual networking. Then lastly, we have the module 5, which is the last module, which says monitor and maintain Azure resources, where we will see backup and recovery, monitor resources in the Azure. So this is what the entire course content, guys, accordingly, which we are going to see. So that's going to be the complete course introduction for both the certifications, be it your 900 and be it AZ104. So this is one thing, and talking about the highlights, I have already explained you hands-on experience we are going to give you by engaging in the practical labs according to the real world understanding. Interactive learning will be there. Exam preparation will also be guided you, like in case of a candidate is looking forward to go for the exam. So, whether you are a student exploring cloud computing for the first time or an IT enthusiast aiming to advance your skills, our AZ900 and AZ10 course will provide. It's going to provide you a structured and supportive environment to kickstart your Azure journey. So enroll now and be prepared to unlock exciting opportunities in the world of cloud computing. Thank you.